Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello everyone, how are we doing? My apologies for being late, but how are we doing today? Hopefully everyone is good on this Friday. Prepared to have a peaceful weekend, hopefully. I say peaceful because everybody don't go out or do whatever on the weekends. I know for sure I don't be having nothing to do on the weekend. That's pretty much just the way I want it. That's pretty much just the way that I want it. Why are certain things hard to find when I'm looking for them? Let me read these super chats before we really get kicked off here. Thank you, Siobhan. So just saying hello, still here. Appreciate you. Keep fighting a good fight. Thank you so much. Thank you, Steve. Said what it is. How you doing? I appreciate your support, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank you, Malika. Said even the educated hyenas with a little power and influence will always show their back feet. Exactly. Thank you, Miss Lucasely, for your support, and thank you, Willie, for your support as well. I appreciate the early support. You no apologies necessary. Sure. I gotta attend to my baby. Sure. What it really is. What's really happening. Here it is. Okay. So my deal here is I wanted it to be a continuation of what we've been talking about in terms of Black women's bad image being their fault. Now, the last time we had this conversation was a day or so ago, my last live stream. And I focused on the reality TV, ratchets, and that whole thing. I focused on how that has had such a negative impact on Black women's image. But there's another portion of that as well, because a lot of women will say, well, we're not ratchet. We don't twerk. We're not somewhere acting a fool. We're not a part of the low class Black chick, the low class hood Black chick. Okay, that's fine. But even when you all are educated, when you all have your PhDs, when you all have your professions and things of that nature, y'all still don't act no better. The mentality is the same. The back feet is the same. You are still hyenas. And you still contribute in a different way to the bad image of Black women as a whole. And this is why Kevin Samuels this is one reason I believe that he used to have that little sample. I'm a PhD, because the education didn't stop the crazy mindset. Like, it didn't matter what socioeconomic standing that you had, you still shared the same foolishness. You still was doing the same craziness. You still was handling your relationships the same. You were still misandrous. You were still feminist. You were still unable to hold together your family life. Like you were still that same person underneath. You just had a little bit more outward class. You know, you weren't running around in bonnets and a pajama set. You know, you got your high heels on and you got your power suit on and you always have your hair done and you don't ever come outside with a bonnet. You know, you don't wear wigs that are rainbow colored and all that. You don't do that, but you still ratchet underneath it. Okay. You a Mercedes Benz on the outside and a Yugo engine. How that work? You a Mercedes Benz on the outside, but when we lift the hood, that's the same engine they be putting in a Yugo. That's a Yugo. It's a Yugo. Still a Yugo. You look like a Benz, but you don't perform like one. Okay. For those of you who don't know what Yugos are, because they don't make those anymore. Go look up a Yugo car. I want to show a couple of examples. The first one that we're going to talk about interesting you should say that because Volkswagen actually makes Porsches. So the Porsches do have Volkswagen engines in them. That's why I just buy the Volkswagens. Do people know that? Volkswagen actually makes Porsches. They make Porsches and Audis. So that was interesting that you said that. Now, here we have the wonderful Fani, and I'm gonna keep saying that her name is Fani because she talking about it's Fani. Well, then you should have spelled it Fauni if you wanted Negroes to say Fani. If you wanted us to say Fani, then maybe your mother and father should have spelled it differently. Or, you know, once you got grown, you're like, people keep calling me Fani because it's spelled that way. Nobody's trying to be disrespectful. It's spelled that way. It's spelled Fani. It's Fani. I'm sorry. And you from the South and you in your 50s, baby, your name is Fani. I'm sorry. Maybe you should have said Fauni or Fawni or NY. You know, something to let us know that it's not Fani. But baby, long as you a black woman from the South, and in your 50s, and your name is spelled Fani, you gonna be Fani to us, baby. And I'm sorry, we don't mean no disrespect, but you're gonna be Fani, okay? Your mama spelled it Fani now. You done got in college, and in that sorority and all that kind of stuff, and then tomato. But you Fani, right? Don't make us Fannie Mae Willis. If that ain't your name, Fannie Mae Willis. Don't listen. If that ain't an older black woman Southern name, I don't know what is. Fannie Mae, anything with May. Now, I'm gonna let you listen. But it says District Attorney Fani Willis, who is leading the case against Trump and others accused of election interference in Georgia, has fired back at her critics. She referred to them as idiots and expressed frustration at being mocked by her name. We not mocking you. I promise you, we not mocking you, especially when it is mispronounced as Fanny. Willis highlighted how such attacks attempt to humiliate her, comparing it to schoolboys snickering about a woman's rear. Her response came during a speech at a church in Marietta. She keep going to these churches and usurping pulpit time with her foolishness. That's number one. But I'm gonna let you listen to it.
While they over there running their mouth, I'm over here paying them no mind. See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fanny in a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear. While they over there running their mouth, I'm over here paying them no mind. See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fanny in a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear.
And in the comments, wasn't she using taxpayer dollars to fund trips for her and her married boyfriend? Girl, bye. We don't care. Somebody said, well, isn't the lady named Fanny? Because what else they supposed to say? So I've been saying Fanny too, how you say it. Because we are not mocking her. We are not mocking her. That's not a mockery. She usurped pulpit time. And the pastor, whoever's in charge of the church, let her do it. She don't want to talk about how even as an educated woman, as the DA of Fulton County in Georgia, that is a big deal where she is at. She has a lot of pull in the governmental and legal system of Fulton County, Georgia. Okay? That is not a small station for where she's at. Anytime you become the DA, and it's not just a little bitty small hick town or whatever, that is an accomplishment. So she has some pull where she at. And she utilized that pull to do several things for which she was called out and got into her own legal battle where her private life was exposed. And what was she exposed for? The first thing is that she was exposed for dating Nathan Wade, who was a married co-worker of hers. Puts him as a prosecutor on the case against Trump. This is how this all blew up. Because this is the case that she brought against Donald Trump for like election fraud, okay, in the state of Georgia, or election interference. In the counter suits and things of that nature, in the course of Trump trying to fight that case, he brought up a potential impropriety on DA Willis's part by alleging that she was in a romantic relationship with Nathan Wade, who she had put as one of the prosecutors on the case, and that because they had a romantic relationship that was not disclosed, that it was a conflict of interest. And also that the money that had been garnered for the case, which was taxpayer money, her and Nathan Wade was using that money as personal, taking trips and so forth. She got all the way on that stand, and so did Nathan Wade, and got on that stand and lied. Perjured herself. Because she told the court that her and Nathan had never had any romantic dealings, that he didn't spend no nights at her house, and all this other stuff. And then the prosecution came with receipts that proved all that wrong. Now, if you want a very detailed, you go to lead attorney and look at his live streams about those cases, about that case. I did a couple of videos, but I was coming at it from a different angle, but it's more detailed. So I'm not going to belabor that here. My point is that with all of her successes, she should have been all right too. Yet we have the ratchetry behind the scenes. First of all, you allowed yourself to be a whole side chick. And I don't care what the condition of Nathan Wade's marriage was. Whether he was separated from her, or whether they was going through a divorce, or whether whatever the condition of their marriage was, why was you a side chick? And you continue to be. Then you hid it. Why am I bringing that up? Because aren't y'all supposed to be beyond that after a certain point? That's what y'all say the ratchet hood chicks be doing? Right? Y'all say that's for the hood chicks. But according to her, she not no hood chick. So shouldn't her mindset be different? It all came to light to make a bad image. Not only on her personally, but to taint the image of even the professional Black women. The ones who pursue degrees, the ones who pursue a certain level of professionalism, a certain level of power. And then it was kind of exposed to the world that she really wasn't no better than really any other chick. which is unfortunate. Talk about she unbothered. You so unbothered that you taking up pulpit time to tell the world you unbothered about some stuff that ultimately don't even matter, girl. You got bigger fish to fry than being ticked off that people are so-called mispronouncing your name. Because don't you still got them RICO cases to try that seem to be falling apart? And I'm not even following them cases, and they falling apart from a distance. Cause am I tripping? Or didn't like the star witness in that RICO case that they trying? Didn't he get on the stand and basically say he was lying about everything? And I'm not even like really privy to the case. I don't follow that case really at all. I'm not even really sure exactly what that case is about. But I know it's not going well for the DA's office. So worry about that. You should be somewhere with your head down trying to do your work and pray and thank God that they didn't take you down out of your position as DA. The only thing that the judge basically ruled was that she could stay on her cases and remain where she's at, but she got to get rid of Nathan Wade, which she did. Now Nathan Wade clout chasing because he was on some type of little interview with Marlon Wayans, of all people, getting questioned. And I couldn't even watch the whole clip. I'm like, what kind of foolishment is this? I just didn't even see how them two even wound up in the same room. That was just weird to me. And I said, well, maybe it's just me. I don't know. And she's a far cry from the only one. Fani is not the only one that things came out about her to ruin her image. More recently, you had another Black woman. Okay. Another Black woman in Georgia as well. A judge, I believe it was in Douglas County, whose name is Christina Peterson. That was disbarred and removed from the bench after a wild night in the club. We're going to get to that, but after these messages, we'll be right back. because I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. Click the link at the top of the chat. If you are looking for some of the best body care and personal care products on the market, then look no further than ashkicking.com. All right. You want to be able to keep your skin very highly moisturized. And this is some really good body butter, because I still haven't switched over to lotion, and I usually do so by now, especially in the heat and the hot weather. But because the body butter is of such high quality, absorbs quickly into the skin. It doesn't just stay there and then cook you while you're outside. It actually moisturizes you. And so you feel soft, you feel nice, your skin looks wonderful, you're not ashy, and it smells great. If this is going to be your first order, then please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. I don't know how many likes I need, but I owe you guys a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta go ahead and hit the like button. Okay, let me get to these super chats real quick. Thank you, Bakish, for your super chat and your super. Thank you. Thank you, Frederick. Shout out to Frederick for being a member for 2 months. That highly educated, less humility. Sound like him, baby. Thank you, L2, for your contributions. A salute. Thank you, John Teal. Say, you know, Fannie Mae Willis can make some 7-Up cake. Right. I don't know why she tripping. Thank you, Trump for prison. Say, you don't see Jack Smith engage in this type of foolery. He sticks to the case, and outside of that says nothing. John Teal said, we know her hooves are tired from running around. So I want to thank you guys for your contribution. Exactly. Let's not forget Tiffany Tahoe. Okay, the corrupt mayor of Dalton. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons, who was really on the case of that story. She did so many videos concerning the Tiffany Henderson, who was just outrageous with her tomfoolery. She provided so much content, but nobody really covered it like Pink Book. So once again, shout out to Pink Book Lessons and how she covered that story. So now we're going to focus. We're going to focus our attention here. Okay. First, I'm going to read this article. Infamous Georgia judge blasts police after she's removed from the bench. A former Georgia judge dismissed over the alleged assault of a police officer and misconduct claimed Wednesday it was the police department punishing her for protecting another woman. There's always a victim angle. Douglas County announced that Christina Peterson had been dismissed from her role as a probate judge on Tuesday, just a few days after an incident outside an Atlanta nightclub. The Atlanta Police Department released body cam footage after detaining the 38-year-old in the early hours of Thursday, showing her verbally abusing and making physical contact with a police officer. Peterson told the Atlanta-based radio station that she was trying to help a woman she saw being attacked by another man. She rushed over and was trying to get the woman out of his grasp when the police intervened. The officer said nothing to me. He knocked me. He knocked me out. He didn't say anything to me. He didn't give me any commands. He didn't say he was an officer. The Atlanta Police Department said that Peterson repeatedly brushed the officer's arms away and pushed him twice before he detained her outside the Red Martini restaurant and lounge. The footage released by the department showed Peterson on the ground outside the club as she was handcuffed and then in the back of the police car, refusing to give the officers her name. I can't go too much into it, but what I think the officer was doing was trying to cover up his improper acts. He rode around with me for 7 hours, arrested me at 3 o'clock. I didn't get to the jail till almost 11. The former judge claims that she was not arrested on suspicion of battery until later. She was also accused of obstructing a law enforcement officer. Newsweek reached out to the APD for further comment Wednesday afternoon, but yet to receive a response. All of this came after Peterson faced months of scrutiny for her actions while her position as Douglas County's probate judge. So she has a history of acting a fool. An investigation was already underway in 28 accusations of misconduct against Peterson when Thursday night's incident occurred. On Tuesday, the Georgia Supreme Court issued a decision removing her from office early, with her original term due to end later this year. Honestly, I was in expectation of it. I anticipated it. I have been attacked since I've been in office. Does that sound familiar? They tried me in a court of public opinion instead of really looking at and seeing if I did anything. Nothing I have done has been willful or misconduct. Douglas County said Tuesday it was looking for a new probate judge and that there would be a small delay in cases in the meantime. So now what we're going to do is watch a snippet of the videos or the body cam footage. Okay.
Don't do what? Because that's don't do what? Don't do what? Hey, freeze. Don't do what we That's a cop.
Ma'am,
take me where you want to take me.
I can't take
No,
you. I don't
take
have any
me.
identification on
And
me.
I don't care. You don't need the identification. You have
Yes, I
locked
do.
people up, and you have picked up dead bodies when you don't know who bodies it was,
Ma'am.
but you picked them up.
Man,
Take me where you need to take me.
I'm trying to.
No, take me where you need to take me immediately, expeditiously.
And you're preventing
Take
that.
me. I could give a. Take me where you want to
So
take me.
how do you want me to take you somewhere
now?
expeditiously?
Now. Take me where you want to take me.
So last week we showed you body camera footage of when Atlanta police, they showed up to a fight outside of a Buckhead lounge, and officers there, they eventually arrested Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson.
Well, all new tonight, her attorney says newly released cell phone video will prove that she should have never been arrested in the first place. Here's 11 Alive's Teresa Bowles.
In the video, you can see commotion outside of Red Martini Lounge in Buckhead before sunrise last Thursday. A man is seen punching a woman who identifies
Ma'am.
Take me where you want.
herself as Alexandria Love several times. You then see Judge Christina Peterson come into the frame, appearing to try to break up the fight. A spokesperson for Atlanta Police tells me they are investigating the man accused of assaulting Love. However, Peterson's attorney, Marvin Arrington, says his client should have never been arrested. She is facing battery against an officer and obstructing an officer charges. Arrington believes there was a misunderstanding.
The footage will also confirm that she did not even know that the police officer was there. We hear audio in the conversation of someone saying, "That's a cop, that's a cop." That indicates to me that the officer may or may not have been in complete uniform, or again, that Ms. Peterson did not see the officer and did not know that the officer was there.
If indicted, Peterson could face suspension with no pay, according to the Attorney General's office, and her term ends in December. In Douglas County, Teresa Bowles,
Herself as Alexandria Love.
11 Alive News.
Douglas County judge already facing felony charges following a nightclub brawl is now being removed from the bench for an entirely different reason tonight. Today, the state Supreme Court found Christina Peterson responsible for nearly 30 counts of misconduct, including misuse of court resources and improper conduct toward county officials. The court said she should be removed from the bench immediately. A Douglas County spokesperson says a retired judge will likely be appointed to finish her term. Separately, Peterson is facing charges for allegedly hitting an officer at the Red Martini restaurant and lounge on Thursday. Her attorneys say that she was trying to break up a fight. We do have cell phone video from that incident posted for you on our website, 11alive.com.
11 Alive News.
They trying to make it about whether or not she knew that was a police officer or not. They trying to make it about whether she hit him or not, or whether she should have been arrested or not, and all of these other things. The point, though, is why was she there in a brawl, or once some foolishness started to pop off? It's okay if you want to go and have your personal life. So if you want to go out, who goes out on a weekday? They go out on weekdays? Folks go out on weekdays like that to the club? I thought that was a Friday, Saturday. Anyway, if that's your thing, you want to go out and have your personal life, you can have your personal life. Problem is, in the midst of you kind of chilling and hanging out, whatever you're doing, if you notice that some foolishness is about to jump off, you know, people who not about foolishness, you know what they do? You know what they do? They get out of there. They get out of there. Especially women. If I'm somewhere and it looked like some foolishness finna pop off, and you know, you have to have a sense about that stuff. Folks voices got to raising, don't sound like they're having fun, sound like they might be arguing. You kind of turn your attention to that, like, I might have to roll out of here, because I'm not trying to be nowhere caught up with no foolishness. Let me, put your finger, let me tip on up out of here, cuz and it could be anywhere. It don't even gotta be in like a club. You could be, I have been in a store and something stupid, I'm out. We good. Okay? Because you don't know what people are going to be doing. So if I'm not involved, I'm not going to try to be involved. What a lot of these chicks don't understand is that some of your professions require some decorum even when you're not at work. You're not the manager of Walmart. You're a judge. And I don't care how high or low the judge seat is. You may not be a Supreme Court justice, but that doesn't matter. The judge seat is supposed to be one of respect. It's a higher office, you could say. And so a certain demeanor, a certain way you carry yourself is insinuated in your profession. Right? There are some professions where you're never really off work, even if you are. Meaning that it would be best if you were not caught publicly acting a fool. Because if you are, then this causes too many eyes to be on your profession of choice. See, if we catch you doing certain things, you can't be an officer or the chief of police or the judge or the mayor or you understand what I'm saying? Because you know, we expect a certain amount or a certain way that you carry yourself publicly. You are out in the middle of the week in a club, done got your wig snatched off and everything. You sitting in the back of a squad car with your ball cap on and no shoes, girl. And we supposed to respect, you know, your honor when we go into the courtroom that you presiding over. For real. When there is actual footage of you with your lace front gone, just the lace front just gone. Somebody done snatched your wig all the way up off your head, girl. Got you barefoot, got your dress hiked up. You might as well have been fighting at the Waffle House. Drunk out the club at the Waffle House at 2 a.m., scrimmaging on the floor, squabbling on the floor with your dress hiked up and your booty out. Yeah, what was the difference? What was the difference? What was the difference? At no point did she think, I'm a judge. I don't even need to be seen with this type of commotion going on. I don't even need to be recognized with that foolishness. Let me exit stage left. You running around here trying to help another woman because she apparently getting mollywopped by some guy. We don't even know what happened there. And this is why I've said the gynocracy has no class. That's a double entendre. There is no difference in hyena members, sisterhood members, gynocracy members. They all think, and if you put them in the right situation, they all behave in the exact same way. It's just interesting to me that other ethnicities of people, when they have people among them that are esteemed, they really hold them to that standard, at least publicly. At least publicly. Even if they don't mind the foolishness behind the scenes, publicly, they hold them accountable. Yeah, you know, they shouldn't have been acting like that. You know, it's not becoming of their station for them to have behaved in such a way. It was very unprofessional. So we're going to have to ask them to step down, or we're going to have to make them resign from this office or this position, because you can't have conduct like that and hold this position. You know, you can have conduct like that and be a customer service rep. Don't nobody care. I just wanted to point that out. The image is y'all fault. Nobody's got a gun to nobody's head with this stuff. They always got a victim story about it as well. But nobody's making y'all do this. Y'all are just doing this because this is what y'all want to do, because y'all actually think it's cute. Y'all actually think it's acceptable behavior, and it is not. There's nothing about the behavior is acceptable. And then she don't want to be removed out her seat. Now that's supposed to be unfair. But this is not even the first incident where, so it appears that they've given you chances and you have consistently been somewhere out of character, acting in ways unbecoming of your profession. And they've allowed you to maintain your profession because what you was doing was probably not necessarily illegal. It just looked stupid. Just look bad. And now they finally tired of you. And since you can't act right, get out. You think just because you work and you get your, you pass the bar and all that kind of stuff, and you get into a seat that Zaddy can't put you out that seat. He gave it to you, didn't he? Zaddy giveth and Zaddy taketh away, right? You don't think Zaddy come pull the rug out from under you? You ain't acting right. You doing too much. The very definition of doing too much. And you finally did one too many antics. And now you gotta go. You don't even get to finish your term. Bye. Let me get to the rest of these super chats. Thank you, Lord. Sinister said your image will affect your standing at a professional job. Exactly. Thank you, Nuruddin said a quangs and quanging. Thank you, Damien said just wanted to say good evening. Thank you again, Nuruddin said you can't tell them nothing. And you can't. Take me where you need to take me expeditiously. Okay, T.I. Okay, T.I. We're going to take you down there. Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.